Bum ba da bum 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 bum.
What's going on, guys? It's Frank Buddy Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Sky Wars. Today, you looked at the title, you saw the thumbnail, it's hilarious. We're talking about birds and squirrels. And guys, I don't know if you have intimate relationships with birds and squirrels, but I have intimate relationships with birds and squirrels because I live in a place with so many birds and so many squirrels that it's ridiculous, my man. It's ridiculous. Okay. Now I live like by like 3 rivers, and that comes with a lot of big birds. So we get seagulls, we get like hawks, we get eagles, we get bald eagles. We have a lot of bald eagles, and we see them all the time. But the real birds that you got to think about where I live are goldfinches and red-winged blackbirds, because those birds are crazy. And I'm telling you, we get so many birds. They're all over the place. Now, the goldfinches, prettiest bird you'll ever see. Like super, super pretty bird. And it's the state bird, right? And so when you see a goldfinch, it's really special because you don't actually see them very often. For a place that gets a lot of birds, goldfinches are like the least common to see around here. But they are the state bird. Now, there's another bird that you will see much more often, and that is the red-winged blackbird. And goodness gracious, guys, this bird is evil. It's one of my favorite birds because it's so tough. But like for a small bird, that thing is evil. Like if it was big, it would eat people. I'm telling you, it would eat people. So red-winged blackbirds are crazy, man. If you're ever riding your bike through a park and there's a red-winged blackbird beside the sidewalk, you have to be careful, man. You have to be careful. Those things, they might be small, and even if they aren't big, they still try to eat you. Those things will eat human beings. I'm telling you. Now, red-winged blackbirds are scary because if you get near a red-winged blackbird, it will either ignore you or it will attack you. Now, those things are so crazy. Have you ever biked by a bird or drove by a bird even? They fly away. Red-winged blackbirds do not fly away. I'm telling you, if you drove by a bald eagle, the bald eagle would fly away. But if you drove by a red-winged blackbird, that thing would walk closer to you. Those things are like really stupid, but really brave at the same time. So they will attack you. I was riding my bike this morning, and I drove by 2 red-winged blackbirds, and I think it was the same one when I was coming and going was just chilling, and it just didn't move. And you're always afraid, is that thing going to come closer? Like, they know their business. They know their business. One time, I was with some friends in a park, and we were running around, we were playing, and there were some red-winged blackbirds, right? And it was a season where they have babies and eggs in their nest. And every time we got near the red-winged blackbird, that thing would fly down on us. It'd swoop down. And they're small birds. They're small. It would swoop down and grab our hair. It would like grab our hair and start flapping around and attacking us. It happened to a couple of my friends who ran through, and I wanted to run through to see what would happen. So I ran through, and that thing attacked me. I've been attacked by a tiny bird, people. By a tiny bird. Now, I have talked about chipmunks before, and I can put the video up on screen where I talked about chipmunks here. And chipmunks, they aren't so bad. They're not as annoying. The reason that I hunted chipmunks and trapped chipmunks was because they were pests, right? But squirrels aren't necessarily pests at my house, but they're definitely annoying. Now, I've had the long history with squirrels, guys. There was a time when I lived in a house with tons of huge walnut trees, and there were so many squirrels in the walnut trees. One time, a walnut fell on my sister's head, and it made her really upset, and we looked at the walnut, and there was a bite mark in it. And my sister was so certain that the squirrels wanted to kill her. I'm telling you, she was terrified. Now, squirrels, they're not that bad, right? But they're annoying. If you've ever seen a Mark Rober video, you think squirrels are the best, but they're kind of annoying sometimes. We have a screened-in porch on my house, and sometimes the squirrels will crawl up on it, and it's really funny. But if you open the door and run out and spook them, they will jump off the screened-in porch and fall about 20 feet onto the ground, hit the ground with a thump, and then run away. Those things can fall off skyscrapers. Have you ever seen the videos of the squirrels falling off skyscrapers? It's ridiculous, man. These things are crazy. They're crazy. Now, one time, I was biking to my job where I kill chipmunks. And there's a house with a ton of big hedges along the edge of the sidewalk, right? And I'm always terrified that something is going to come out of it because sometimes I'll bike by and I'll hear a bird inside of it and I'll be like, oh gosh. But most birds, except red-winged blackbirds, are smart enough to fly in the opposite direction of you when you walk by them, bike by them, drive by them, right? Squirrels, not so much. One time I biked by those hedges and a squirrel ran out. And for about 10 feet, that squirrel was running the same speed as me, parallel to my bike wheel, right? And it was running, it was keeping up, and then I felt a little... The squirrel fell backwards, and I kept biking. I was like, oh gosh. So I think I ran over a squirrel with my bike. I don't know for sure, guys. I don't know for sure. But I heard a thump, and the squirrel was not there anymore. So we're just saying I may have ran over a squirrel. And in my town, there are so many squirrels, man. I was biking this morning, and I drove by 4 squirrels. There were a couple squirrels playing together, and I drove by, and I went later down on a different street. I drove by, and there were 3 squirrels playing together, and they all split to different trees. It's ridiculous, man. And it's like there's squirrel gangs because we have different color squirrels. There's the gray squirrels, there's the brown squirrels, and there's the black squirrels, and they all have their own hood, you know? Like the black squirrels are in the old part of town, like from the 1800s and stuff where all that stuff is built. And then the brown squirrels are in other neighborhoods. In my neighborhood, we have gray squirrels, mostly gray squirrels, right? Sometimes you'll see a brown one. If you see a black one, that's really weird because it's not normal. Sometimes, and there's always going to be a dead squirrel on the road somewhere because they are stupid. Like I said, I ran over one with my bike and they get run over by cars a lot. But every squirrel has a hood, right? So black squirrel's in the old hood, brown squirrel's in all the other hoods. And in my hood, the new hood, it's gray squirrels. Gray squirrels are always chilling there. And I have no idea where they all came from, but we have so many squirrels, dude. And so many birds. Red-winged blackbirds being the most evil. Squirrels just being evil in general. And goldfinches just being pretty freaking awesome. Well, anyway, I hope that you guys develop a passion for birds like me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bum ba da bum 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 bum.